Over the last 12 months, we watched as the crypto market cap went from 2.11 trillion to a high of 4.17 trillion. This is incredible to see, and it's a major milestone. $4+ trillion. It's huge for crypto. However, this is just the beginning. And in this video, I really want to address the opportunity in front of us, because I feel as if so many people are watching as the biggest opportunity slips through their fingers because they're not paying attention to what's really happening. A lot of you out there have been watching my videos. You guys have been studying these altcoins. You have been locked in on utility-based projects, and that is such a huge thing to be doing right now. Studying how these utility-based projects will work in the future. Studying how tokenization and stablecoins are reshaping finance. You guys are on an incredible path to success by just simply doing that, because you recognize that this market's not going to stop at 4 trillion. It's not going to stop at 5 trillion. It's not going to stop at 10 trillion. This market is headed to $100+ trillion, and even then, I don't think that we stop. It's been a very long journey to get to this point, but the journey to the next, 4 trillion getting added to the market cap is not going to take as long. But I will say this. Most people are not aware of how big this opportunity really is. I saw this post come up on my timeline earlier yesterday, and it was from Digital Asset Buy. And we have, as of today, there is 4.03 trillion in all of crypto. And what this outlined was all of the predictions. For an example, we have Kathy Wood from Mark Invest. $13 trillion potential crypto market cap by 2030 with significant inflows starting in the next 2 years, 2025 to 2027. Bernstein analysts say 7.5 trillion total crypto market cap by the end of 2025, driven by institutional adoption and ETF inflows. Standard Chartered analysts believe 8 to 10 trillion crypto market cap by 2026, fueled by broad institutional and retail inflows. JP Morgan analysts predict 5 to 7 trillion crypto market cap by the end of this year, with 100 to 200 billion in new capital inflows. Tom Lee, $10 trillion crypto market cap by 2026, implying massive inflows from current $3 trillion or 4 trillion. VanEck analysts, 8 trillion crypto market cap by 2025, driven by DeFi and DEX volume surges. Bitwise, 7 to 9 trillion total crypto market cap by the end of this year, with altcoins and ETFs boosting inflows. Forbes analyst, 8 trillion crypto market cap by the end of this year, supported by global capital flows. Goldman Sachs, via stablecoin forecast, $2 to $3 trillion just from the stablecoin market by 2027, contributing to broader crypto inflows. And then last but not least, BlackRock. This is with ETF growth. $10 to $12 trillion crypto market cap by 2027, with billions in ETF-driven inflows. Again, when we think about this list here, we don't know where crypto is going to be by the end of this year. But one thing is very clear to me. Crypto is on its way to $10+ trillion. Yeah, we might be looking at the next 12 to 24 months, just, around 8, 10 trillion possibly. Who knows how high we can go in the next 2 years, right? All I know is that in the last couple weeks, in the last couple months, we have been watching as more and more dominoes are falling around crypto. This is only going to support the next big push to the upside. But talking about this list and addressing this list, we look at a few things. Stablecoins. Stablecoins hit $300 billion just recently. It's now at about $307 billion. Stablecoins continue to grow and they continue to increase around usage. Recently, we did hit almost $4 trillion in monthly transfer volume. Yes, we have dropped down a bit by about 14%. However, stablecoins continue to grow more and more and more around market cap. Yes, there's a little bit of a divide from CoinMarketCap compared to RWA.XYZ, but the main thing to focus on here is that stablecoins continue to boom in a big way, and they will continue to boom in a big way because stablecoins, well, let's just be honest, are being supported by the biggest names out there, like the US government, like institutional players. Now we have banks launching stablecoins. This is only going to continue to cause this market to erupt more and more and more. And yes, this will impact the underlying networks. But on top of this, tokenization. Tokenization is up almost 9% in the last 30 days. We're at about almost it's like about $30.3 billion. What's crazy about this is this growth is going to get accelerated. $30.3 billion, absolutely nothing compared to where this space is headed. Again, we go back to the idea of the crypto market cap even hitting $10 trillion. To a lot of people, they think, wow, that's ridiculous. We're going to double the value of the crypto market cap right now and then add an additional $2 trillion to that? Absolutely no way. But think about what's going on here, right? Stablecoins. Let's just go over here real quick to the view of stablecoins. So $10 trillion in 10 years for stablecoins. Stablecoin companies have been extremely successful. We watched Tether go from nothing to today being one of the largest players in holding and buying US treasuries. They've been spotlighted multiple times. They continue to grow. But also, when we look at the growth from Visa and MasterCard, it took them 48 years and then 52 plus years to hit $10 trillion in annual volume. Stablecoins, well, it compressed 5 decades worth of payment growth, and we did it in 10 years. 10 trillion in 10 years. This is the crypto effect. Whatever happens in traditional finance, crypto does better and a lot faster. This is proof of that. But also, let's go over here to my post that I've recently said, because again, when we look at the market cap of crypto, $4 trillion plus is not something to overlook. It's obviously a great milestone, but let's take a step back and think about this for a second. 2025 is the year where we finally shifted from the hostile environment around crypto. This has allowed this market to be adopted by governments and institutional players in a large way. We passed the Genius Act, which was stablecoin legislation, with market structure being worked on as we speak. Nearly all obstacles are being removed, and this will only accelerate the growth around crypto even more. Stablecoins are set to expand to $1+ trillion, and tokenization is set to expand not by 10x, not by 100x, but by thousands of x's over the coming years. Yes, 1,000 plus x's. It's an insane amount, but that's exactly what we are seeing from these projections. 4 trillion seems like a lot, but realistically, we are watching as 100 trillion plus asset classes move on chain, and it might be happening slowly right now, but soon they will be flooding on chain. Crypto is becoming a legitimate asset class that institutional players, enterprise players, Wall Street players, and even governments are now embracing. We are only about 10 months into this phase of crypto, and so far it has been incredible to watch. I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish over the next 10 months and beyond, because again, if we think about some of the asset classes being affected by crypto, global real estate, 370 plus trillion, equities, over 100 plus trillion. We think about debt. I mean, guys, the debt market is a massive monster of money. On top of that, stocks. I mean, everything that we're seeing around this space, from tokenization, even stablecoins, right, affecting the way that money moves globally, that's a $100 trillion plus business by itself. This space hit $4 trillion this year. But we are going after hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of asset classes, bringing them on chain, allowing them to trade 24/7, 365. This is just the beginning. when we look at some of these posts, like for an example, this one from Hunter Horsley from Bitwise, 6 to 12 months from now, the big story in crypto is going to be credit and borrowing. It will explosively grow over the next few years. Two vectors. There's nearly $4 trillion of crypto and growing. When people can borrow against this crypto rather than sell, they will. This is such a huge thing to focus on because XRP holders, I know for a fact that a lot of you are simply not going to sell. You don't want to. I don't blame you, but we would love to borrow against our XRP, and this is going to become a possibility. But number two, there's over $60 trillion in public equities alone in the US. As assets tokenized, someone with $7,000 worth of a stock will be able to borrow against that for the first time on chain. Crypto is going to reshape capital markets. It's just getting started. We're talking about a difference of $4 to $60 trillion. A 10x from today for the total market cap of crypto doesn't even hit 60 trillion. Think about that. Now think about it like this. A 100x from where we are at right now would take us to $400 trillion for crypto. To a lot of people, that sounds ridiculous. $400 trillion? No way. Listen, I don't think that we get to $400 trillion in the next 12 months. I don't think that we get to $400 trillion in the next 5 years. But this space will hit $400 trillion at some point in time. I don't care about how long it takes because from us going from 4 trillion to 10 trillion to 20 trillion, even if we hit $40 trillion, the money that we would make off of just holding some of these assets would be absolute. It would be beyond life-changing. Okay? Because it's not going to be life-changing. It's going to affect not just us, not our children, not even their children's children. This is going to be an absolute generational wealth creation. This opportunity in front of us is so much more significant than we think. All we need to know is when we look at some of the values out there, like for an example, this, a $400 trillion TradFi market is a huge runway for tokenized RWAs. Because again, the addressable market here is $400 trillion. This is why I brought up the 100x opportunity, because again, we have a 100x opportunity in front of us. All of these things are moving on chain right now. Private credit, marketable treasury debt, commodities, institutional alternative funds, stocks, global bonds. These are all on chain right now. You could track all of this on rwa.xyz. Treasuries, global bonds, private credit, commodities, institutional funds, stocks. It's all on chain. And it's just beginning. It reminds me back to when the World Economic Forum said that blockchain could disrupt $867 trillion in traditional markets. This was back in 2021. I truly think that even if you're old, even if you're young, it doesn't matter your age. The next 12 months will be huge. The next 24 months will be massive. Whatever happens after that point, I don't think that we are going to be sitting here talking about the way, talking about crypto the way that we have been over the last 12 months. Because everything that we've been speculating on, everything that we've been talking about happening around crypto has happened. The entire sea has changed around crypto. Everything around crypto has increased rapidly. All we have to do here is simply be patient and do nothing. If we are holding the right assets, We do not have to be concerned or worried at all about the price, because utility is going to become a huge spotlighted thing in crypto. It's going to be the main value driver. Watch as these values drastically rise over the coming weeks. Crypto itself, in terms of the prices of altcoins, we will be fine. I've talked about it on multiple occasions. Yes, we are nearing the biggest wave of the cycle, but long term here, we are targeting hundreds of trillions of dollars at a point where the crypto market cap is still in single digit trillion-dollar values. We have a massive move that's going to take us, it's going to take years to get there, but we are essentially watching as crypto becomes a legitimized asset class, and we are watching the beginning of something very special. And most people will sell way too early. They will not realize how big this is until it's too late. And that's unfortunate. But this is why we lock in and we study and we do the research. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.